call the meeting to order here. We'll call it Board of Public Works and Capital Assets for August 13th to order. Roll call.
Gail is here.
Marshall here.
Guzikowski here.
Zarnecki here.
Seifert here.
Segal here.
Awesome. Approval of minutes for 6/11/24. Any changes or corrections? That you noticed? Otherwise, a motion.
I'll move to approve minutes of June 11th, 2024.
A roll call.
You need a second.
Oh, second, yeah. Second? Can't? Because they weren't all here. Can I second?
Yeah, you can second.
I
I'll
can
s-
second only because I was here at that meeting and nobody else.
But you don't have a vote today. Well,
No, for,
Boozy can second.
I can
Just because
second.
he's running the meeting doesn't mean he can't act. Yeah.
Guzikowski seconds.
Okay. Gail, aye.
Marshall abstain.
Guzikowski, aye.
Zarnecki abstain.
Segal abstain.
We only got two anyway? No.
Had enough for the meeting, you have to
I
have enough. I mean, I thought he gets a vote except for on budget items.
no, Fred only gets a vote if a member is absent. But you don't have to abstain. That's a courtesy. We typically don't. That is not a legality.
How do I approve minutes for a meeting I wasn't at?
Well, you can read them.
You read
Well,
one,
another
didn't
option
you?
is I won't be here at the
Yeah,
next
I mean,
meeting.
it's
so
your
you will
choice, Bob.
be
It's
active
not.
member.
It's not
Sure.
illegal.
the only member.
Well, we'll never be able to approve these unless one of the folks who abstains votes, because we'll never have a quorum of the folks who are present or not here.
Well, I will not be here in September, so then he will be a voting member. Maybe that will be a solution if you guys don't see it
I see a way to proceed.
any other way to proceed. Okay?
One of the members who abstained can vote. It's not illegal if one of you so chooses.
Yeah, if you look, did you look through the minutes? Then you could vote on them.
Right.
Even though you weren't here.
Well, I was here.
No, I'm
No.
talking to
The-
the others, yeah. Right. Should we do it again, or? Approval of minutes for 6/11/24.
Gales and I.
Marshall, aye.
Guzikowski, aye.
Zarnecki abstain.
Segal, aye.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, problem solved.
I'll start. Alrighty. Not gonna get any easier. We gotta approve minutes for July now.
I was the only one that wasn't here.
Alright. Approval of minutes for 7/9/24. Any changes or corrections there? If not, a motion.
Marshall moves to approve the minutes of July 9th, 2024.
Segal seconds.
A roll call.
Gail abstains.
Marshall,
There
aye.
we go.
Guzikowski, aye.
Zarnecki, aye.
Segal, aye.
There we go. Look at that.
Okay. Number 5, review of common council action related to public works and capital assets.
I'll go ahead and take this one.
Thank
It'll
you.
be pretty brief. So on July 16th, the council awarded the carbon reduction street lighting upgrade project to Gray Bar in the estimated cost of $350,000.50. And then this is also just pending some approvals from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, so there should be more on that later. And then just a reminder, our September meeting will be on the 12th instead of that second Tuesday, so keep
Yeah,
that in
that's
mind.
right.
Same location and time as a normal meeting would take place. We'll be back here on that Thursday.
Thanks for a reminder on that.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments for?
What?
Couldn't get the 50 cents
I
on the
thought I
gray
said
bar?
the 50 cents, did I
No,
not?
but we couldn't negotiate
Oh,
that
oh,
out.
sure.
All right. All righty, thank you for that information. Number 6, consider a motion to authorize utility engineer to enter into a contract with Gray for the design of Pute's Liberty Roundabout water relay in the amount of $12,000.
So this project is to move a little bit of water main, 150 feet of water main, a couple of hydrants out of the way of the road construction for the roundabout. Grafe is doing the design for that project, so it makes sense for them to just continue this and include it in the plans.
Makes sense.
I guess just to add a little note to that, on what Mike said, there were several options that we looked at within our design with Grafe as far as removing some of our storm sewer to not impact the water main. That was just not feasible in order to get the water to flow and basically meet all of our constraints and our design requirements. So we reached out and started working with water and sewer on options. So that's how this kind of came about. Kind of an iterative process, but this is where we landed.
Thanks for the info. Comments or questions on this?
I don't know if it's related to this, but the support after this has a agreement for CH2M Hill. Is
Yes, sorry about
error?
that. No, that was to be a separate agenda item. We're just gonna hold that until
Okay.
next time. There was miscommunication on our end as to what should go with what, and so that got kind of
Okay.
lost up there. No, this, thank you for that.
Anything else? If not, a motion.
So move to authorize the utility engineer to enter into a contract with Gray for the design for the Putte Liberty Roundabout water relay in the amount not to exceed $12,000.
Marshall will second.
Roll call.
Gale, aye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Zarnecki, aye?
Scully, aye.
Okay, number 7, utility vouchers.
Big month, but nothing particularly out of the ordinary.
Okay. Any questions on? If no questions, motion then.
Gale moves to approve the utility vouchers in the amount of $1,152,255.32.
Zarnecki, second?
Roll call.
Gale, aye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Zarnecki, aye?
Scully, aye.
8, administrative and operations reports.
I don't have a whole lot. I will note that our flows are down, our sales are down this year due to all the rain that we've gotten certainly earlier. Hopefully it'll start coming back a little bit, but what's really propping up the sales at the moment on the industrial class is up quite a bit compared to last year, and that's largely based on energies. I know they had been looking for a leak in the past. We've not had recent communication with them as to whether they found one or are just up. They did say previously that their own usage is up, their own power production's up, so they expected the water to be up. That may be an answer to it. They're up quite a bit though. So that's the most notable change, I think, that we've seen. Other than that, the only other note that I'd like to make is on the distribution report. There are 0 hydrants out of service right now, which is kind of a milestone for us. We're very happy about that. Something we try pretty hard, but it's also very difficult to do. So, at least for this month, we've had 0 out of service.
Nice.
Oh, and lastly, the plant is up to full staff, finally since February. So all the people we've had positions filled, but not trained operators. Now all the new operators are trained, they're on their shifts, so we're finally back to full strength.
Nice. information. Good update. But that makes things a little easier for planning.
Does that.
Any other questions or comments for number 8, anyone? 9, consider a motion to approve the installation of no left turn 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., except buses, signs on Shepherd Avenue at the entrances of East Middle School.
Morning, Andrew
Morning.
Ledger, design engineer. So staff received a request from the principal and school resource officer of East Middle School to help them with some traffic concerns they have out there during pickup and drop-off time. What they've requested that the city do is install no left turn signs out there from 8 to 9 and from 3 to 4. That would help alleviate some of the concerns with traffic trying to turn left into the school during those times for pickup and drop-off. So in addition to that, they would also be looking at, on their site, restricting left turns out of their driveway as well, so that we're keeping those vehicles from going back down towards those entrances. Notification was sent out to properties immediately adjacent to, or within 300 feet of where the signs would be installed. No comments were received from that. Staff is recommending that the board would approve this request.
Andrew or Matt, have only one road into the east. They got a communication plan, I assume?
So during that time, access would still be available from the west along Highway 100. That closure is east of Shepherd. So you still have access from south of that intersection from Shepherd. And then anyone that's coming from the north would have to come down Howell and come east on Highway 100 to the Shepherd Avenue intersection.
I mean, I don't have any kids. Like I said, I assume they have an education plan, so.
Yeah, I haven't been privy to it, but I would assume at this point, there'll be, once it's approved, there'll be communication sent out with their pre-registration and that going to middle school, as we've done in the past. We can obviously work with staff at East Middle School and their principals, officer that's within there, to make sure that that gets distributed out to the parents.
Other questions on this?
You know, I mean, that's always been a,
Yes.
we didn't design the,
No other questions, motion?
Marshall moves to approve the installation of the no left turn from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., and 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. except buses signs on South Shepherd Avenue at the entrances to East Middle School.
Galley seconds.
Roll call.
Gale's eye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Warnicki, aye.
Galley,
And number 10, consider a motion to recommend the Common Council adopts ordinance 3108 to create section 3.08 of the municipal code relating to responsible bidders.
Thank you, Alderman Guzekowski, Matt Sullivan, Assistant City Administrator and City Engineer. Before you is that responsible bidder ordinance. This kind of came in light with a lot of the requirements that state and federal funding have in their recent grants and funds that they've been distributing throughout the country in the last few years. One of the requirements is actually to have an ordinance for a responsible bidder. The ordinance itself follows a lot of the state statutes and refers to those state statutes. It's a process that we do anyways. This just kind of solidifies it and puts it into our ordinance, so we can point to that when we do go with our funding and our grant applications. Be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Obviously, our attorney, Melissa Carls, did most of the heavy lifting on this, but there was some assistance by our department as well.
Question on the safety end of it, though. I'd like to see stop signs added, 2 stop signs on the corner of Verdev and Groveland, just north of the high school football field. People still seem to blow right through that stop sign. And now you got the kids going to school. I walk that area every day, or not quite, close to it, and at least 2 or 3 people seem to run that stop sign. So I think adding a little more information on that corner to put 2 more stop signs so that people can see it, that may help. So I'd like to bring that up.
Thank you, Commissioner Sieper. We'll take that into consideration and look into that further. Do you have any questions in regards to the responsible bidder ordinance?
No.
Thank you.
I guess the one question I would have, just out of curiosity, section C7 is in reference to Class A apprenticeship. Why did a threshold get put in there for $1 million? What was the justification behind that particular dollar figure?
That falls within line of the state statutes.
Okay.
I looked at a number of communities and they actually have 2 million. That is the threshold that's within statutes. We tried to follow the state statutes as pretty much as close as possible. I don't know if those limits were adjusted a little bit. I can speak more to Melissa Carls on that and give you a better answer on it.
Just curiosity.
Any other questions on? All right, a motion.
Marshall moves to recommend, Marshall moves that Common Council adopt ordinance number 3108 to create section 3.08 of the municipal code relating to responsible bidders.
Zarnecki, second.
Roll call.
Eli.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Zarnecki, aye.
Scully, aye.
Number 11, consider a motion to convene into closed session pursuant Wisconsin statutes 19.85 sub 1 sub E to discuss the wholesale water agreement.
Your direction, Guzzi, or is that a motion?
That's a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Gills, aye.
Marshall, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Zarnecki, aye.
Scully, aye.